Hello everyone, welcome to J-Hook Crochet. I am Reggie and this is the Yarniversity. We had a week off and now we're back. Break is over, time to go back to school. So hello everyone, thank you for being here and I very much appreciate it. I appreciate you all being here for this topic which I personally think is very, very interesting. Today we are talking about the world's most rare, unique, and even weird fibers. And since we already did a Yarniversity which was all about vegan fibers, today all the fibers that are going to be discussed are animal fibers. So yes, some are cruelty free, some aren't. That's just the way it is. I just wanted to be upfront and tell you that straight from the beginning, so that if there's anyone here who has a problem with that subject, I'm here to share knowledge and not to say my personal opinion about how certain yarns are being made. So this is not the discussion today. Today we're just talking about the fibers, introducing you guys to them and talking a little bit about each of them. So first up, I'm going to look at the chat and see who we have with us today. So I see that Catherine is here. Hello, Catherine. And Hope is here. And Denise, hello. And Lashira, welcome. And Vita is here. And Rita. And Julie, hello Julie. Julie said, thought I'd be a good student and come on time today. Hello Julie. And Debbie is here. Good morning, Debbie. For those of you who don't know, I live in Germany. It's early evening for me. It's 6 in the evening. And hello, Kay's Crochet Heaven, and Dee is here. Granny D, hi, welcome. And Jana is here. Hello to South Africa. And I see Claptrap. I believe that you are new here. Welcome. And Carrie, hello, top of the morning. And Tanya, hello to New Zealand. Oh wow. It must be either very late at night or very early in the morning for you. I very much appreciate you being here and thank you for joining. And Granny D is saying she's finishing up a beanie made with a bulk yarn. Cool. So you guys, as you know, here on the Yarniversity, you're always welcome to, you know, sit and crochet and relax or work on whatever you're working while listening. It is, after all, sort of like a live class. I do look at the chat and I do ask questions and look for your answers, or if you have any questions, just ask them in the chat and I hop in and out of the chat to see what's going on there. It's 6 a.m. there. Wow, so you're actually starting tomorrow with us. Welcome Tanya, and hello Debbie, welcome. So for those of you who are new here and haven't been to a Yarniversity live class before, what I do is I pretty much talk about the topic. Today's topic is the world's most rare, unique, and some weird fibers. And as I've said before, all the fibers that we will discuss today are animal-based fibers, so animal sourced. And if you are interested in vegan yarns, all of those are in a class that we already had a few weeks ago, and you can go back on my channel and look for that video and watch the Yarniversity class about vegan yarns. So today we are talking animal sourced yarns, animal-based, and some ones that maybe you have heard of, some that maybe you haven't heard of, some that maybe some of you worked with already. And what I do is I pretty much talk, you know, I give a class and I jump into the chat here and there. So if you wrote something in the chat and I didn't see your comment, I'm not ignoring you. Every now and then I'm going back to the chat and I'm trying to keep up, but if I missed your comment, just write it again and I will read it the next time. I am not avoiding anyone on purpose, and I'm not trying to anyway. So in case you asked some question and I didn't answer your question, you had some remark and I didn't read it, just write it again, and I'll try to get it the next time. I'm not 100% on keeping up with the chat because I'm very bad with doing two things at once. So just, you know, just saying that up front so everyone knows. Before we begin, as always, I have just a little bit of administrative things. I do that every week. So first of all, we start with welcoming our new members, all the members who joined the channel membership since the last live chat. If you guys don't know what channel membership is, down below next to the subscribe button, there is a join button. If you press that button, you will get a full rundown of what is included in the channel membership and different levels which you can choose out of. And if you join channel membership, you become a member of the channel and you get certain perks on the channel that other subscribers or other viewers don't get. So first of all, I would like to welcome the new members who joined us since the last Yarniversity. We have Debbie Perea, and I believe she's here, so welcome Debbie. And Dottie Burton, welcome to Dottie. And Nancy McDonald, and welcome to Nancy as well. So those are our three new members since last Yarniversity. And if you look at the chat, the people who are in green with the little Yarniversity logo next to, well, not the Yarniversity logo, the channel membership logo next to their name. Those are people who are members of the channel, and according to the color of this little logo, you can see how long they've been a member. So we have some members who are already up to the second month, and some members who are still in green, and they joined in the past month. If you join channel membership, you also gain access to the very special emojis. And since we now reached the next level of numbers of channel members, there is a new emoji added. So we have one more new emoji since the last time we had Yarniversity, and you guys who are members, you are welcome to go and check out what the new emojis are. Second thing I wanted to say thank you to everyone who donated in the past 2 weeks. Since the last Yarniversity was 2 weeks ago, we had a break for Valentine's Day. So over the past 2 weeks, everyone who donated through PayPal, everyone who donated through Coffee, anyone who bought anything off of the Etsy shop, the Teespring shop, or the Redbubble shop, thank you all very, very, very much. And if you buy any of the J-Hook Crochet or the Yarniversity merch, I would very much like it if you post it on our Facebook group so that I can see when you get it, or on Instagram using the hashtag Yarniversity, and you can even tag me on Instagram so that I can see it. I love seeing all the people who get different merch from the different places. If you don't know, if you're new here and you don't know, all of these links to the Etsy shop, to the Teespring, to the Redbubble, to everything is in the description box below this video. And another thing that is in the description box below this video is a link to the blog. And guess what, guys? I have done my homework, and today's lesson, what we are about to start now, is already on the blog. So it's already now live on the blog, all the information that I'm going to talk about today, in case you have to step away, in case you can't be here for any reason, in case you have to leave in the middle, or you just have enjoyed the lesson that much and you want to have all that information saved. So you can just go to the blog. It's written down there, everything I'm going to talk about, including a link to this video. So once today's live is finished, today's live video will be also on the page there. So you know, just down in the description box below this video, there is a link. It will take you directly to the direct page on the blog, where today's subject is already on. And I'm very, very proud of myself for being able to write it all into the blog. There's another one thing that I wanted to say about the Etsy shop. So the my latest pattern, if you guys follow me on Instagram, I have released my latest written pattern. It is the Sunnydale socks. It's crochet sock pattern, and it is now live on the Etsy shop. And don't forget that viewers of my channel get a special discount, and the discount code for that is also in the description box below this video. So if you were watching me or following me on Instagram while I posted the progress pictures of that specific pattern, and you're now interested in getting it, it is already live on the Etsy shop and you can go and get it. Let's see what you guys are saying. Do you know if anyone is making golden orb spider? I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. Is that a name of a spider? Someone's making yarn out of that? Let me know. I have no idea. Hi, Denise. You can lurk as much as you want. Dee is saying it's fun to be a freshman again, and related to our membership program. And Catherine found a new emoji. It's a coffee cup. It is too late for coffee here, but for our friends who are just starting their day, that is a perfect emoji to begin the day. You've seen golden orb tablecloth. It is amazing how shiny, true golden color it is. Truly amazing and beautiful. Can you tell me what is golden orb? Is that a type of fiber? I have never heard of it before. The Naughty Canuck. You already checked out the blog? Thank you. That's wonderful. Yes, I must say, writing down, I mean, preparing for Yarniversity every week takes me a long time. Some of you guys in the chat are also people that I talk to on a daily basis outside of YouTube, so you guys know I put a lot of effort into these classes, and writing them down is a new thing for me. So writing everything down into the blog was a big adventure. It took me hours, really. But I'm very proud of myself for doing that. All right, so a few last administrative things. First of all, the Vestuary Vest Fest, our Makers Challenge, it is still going on. It is going to end at the end of February. So if you guys have no idea what it is, go back to my channel, watch the video that's called Vestuary Vest Fest Makers Challenge. And you will get all the information about that make-along, and you can still enter. All you have to do is make a vest, any kind, any pattern you want. It can be crochet, knitted, sewn, whatever fiber art you do, you can enter it in. All the details about how to enter are on the video, and we are going to keep it going until the last day of February, and on the 1st of March, it's a Monday, there's gonna be a live chat with me and Catherine, Cass Eyecatchers, in the chat here, in the chat. And Catherine and I together are going to live on YouTube, show some pictures from people who took part in the challenge, and of course announce the winners and show you all the wonderful prizes that they won. So that's gonna be on the 1st of March, and as I've said, hashtag Vestuary Vest Fest. If you have already made a vest for the challenge but didn't post it yet, so you still have time. Just don't forget to post it, otherwise your entry does not count. And the last thing I wanted to tell you guys about is the next live game show. So after the last game show that we had for February, a lot of people have emailed me and said that they kind of missed my announcement of the game show, and they would really love to donate prizes for the next game show and so on. So for those of you who are interested, the next live game show would be the Easter game show, and that will be on the 28th of March. So on the 28th of March, it's a Sunday, will be the same time like always. Instead of the Yarniversity class of that week, we're gonna have the live game show, and it's gonna be Easter themed this time. And everyone who would like to donate a prize to that, you can already write me an email now, but of course I will put out the makers call out when we are closer to the date. Oh, my daddy's here! Shalom! My dad is saying, hello, Regev. Good to see you. Unfortunately, I cannot watch you tonight. See you later. See you later, Dad. It is the name of the spider. So the spider is called golden orb. In southeastern Africa, it's a big one. Took a photograph of it, but it didn't know what it was at the time. There's a video on YouTube about making the cloth. Wow, I will definitely look that out, and thank you. That sounds amazing. And Jana is saying, I'm working on my vest right now. That's wonderful. You still have time. Had to do a baby blanket for a friend's shower. Oh, congratulations. But now I'm focused on finishing my vest. That's wonderful. As I've said, there's still enough time to enter your work into the challenge. All you have to do is post it either Instagram or Facebook, and there are a few ways to enter, but I will let you guys go back and look for the video so you can hear all about it yourself. Okay, so we spoke about the new members of the channel. We spoke about everyone who donated this week, and I said thank you very much. And I told you guys about the new pattern on Etsy. And I told you guys about the Vestuary Vest Fest, about the live that will be the end of the Vestiary Vestfest, when we will show everything and tell you who the winners are. And I told you guys about the next live game show. So I think I did all the administrative things that I had to do. And we can begin our class. So does anyone have anything they want to ask that is not class related before we begin? Now is the time. I'm gonna take a sip with your permission. Cheers to you guys. Okay. So today we are talking about the world's most rare, unique, or weird fibers. I just wanted to say that when thinking up this subject and when researching it, I've gone through so much information. There are so many different fibers that that you can, talk about, look into, that were interested to me. How are they made? What are they made of? And I really had to like narrow my list down to the things that I found that are the most interesting to talk about and maybe the least common. The reason why I wanted to look up the least common ones, or the ones that are not as popular, is because I like to bring new information to talk about things that people may not know about or may not have any experience with before. So when working out this subject, I had to really narrow down. So of course there are way more things than the ones that I'm talking about today, but my Yarniversity classes are long as it is. They sometimes take up to 3 hours, and I did not want to like try and include everything. So I chose what I thought was the interesting one, and I hope that you guys will agree with me that those particular fibers are unique, interesting, intriguing in some way. And since we were already talking about the channel members, so this coming month, March, will be the first time that we will have a members only live chat. And in those members only live chats, we are going to be discussing future things that you guys want to see on the Yarniversity. Now, that would be only open to people who are members of the channel, and they will be the ones discussing it. So members, if you already have ideas, questions, things that you would like me to make a Yarniversity lesson about, you can already start thinking it up. We will have an announcement about when the members only live stream is going to take place, and of course I will have some kind of poll on my community tab. And for those of you who do not know the community tab on YouTube, when you go back to my channel, up where all the little tabs are, there's a tab for the videos, for playlists, and then there's the community tab. And if you press on that, you will see posts, like regular feed posts that I post, and there will be a poll for the members to say what time or what day of the week is the best for them to attend. So this is just like a little side note for future Yarniversities, but I think that today's lesson is pretty much full of very interesting fibers, at least ones that I thought were interesting to discuss. But if you have ones that you want to talk about, just like the question that we had in the chat for now, and you guys know me, I eat knowledge, so just write it in the chat, and I promise I will research it for the next time. Catherine says, damn, can't come up with something stupid to ask right away. It's okay, Catherine. I'm sure you'll come up with a perfect stupid question later. Let's have thumbs up for our lady. Oh, thank you, Debbie. Yes, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up when you come in. And if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, I would very much appreciate it if you consider subscribing. I have a lot of information on my channel. I do yarn unboxings, yarn reviews, product reviews to things that are related to yarn and crochet. And I do Yarniversity classes. I have tutorials for patterns that I design. There's a lot of content on the channel, so if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe. And if you are a subscriber and you want to join our membership program, the join button is right next to the subscribe button. And if you press on it, you will get a full rundown of what it takes to become a member. And hello to Wilma. Hi, thank you for joining me. And I see Toro 8 star. Hello, welcome. And Mackenzie Knight. Hi, welcome. Hi, bye. I'm not sure if you're still here, but hello. And Lacey is here. Lacey says, oh man, I was looking for something. I will wait to hear what you were looking for. You were looking for when this live was going to be all day yesterday and couldn't find it. I hope I'm not late. No, Lacey will literally just start it. So you are right on time for the beginning. So I'm gonna jump right into it because I didn't see any questions. So we are talking about the world's most rare, unique, and weird fibers. And if you're just joining us, I did say in the beginning that because we had a whole Yarniversity class that had to deal with different vegan yarns, if you are interested in this kind of yarns, then you can go back to the channel. The video from that live stream is still on the channel. You can watch that. But all the fibers that I'm talking about today are all different animal wool fibers. So we all know the, regular fibers. We all know acrylic, we all know cotton, merino, even the ones that are not like the, go-to yarns, all bamboo, tencel, baby alpaca, all these kind of like more rare yarns. But there are some fibers out there which are a bit less common and maybe more hard to get and probably more expensive, and some that maybe you haven't even heard about, and this is today's topic. That is what we are talking about today. Exactly those yarns that are the less known ones, the less popular ones that maybe you didn't even know. They make yarn out of that. So this is what we're talking about today. Some of these you probably know that there's yarn or fiber being made out of. And you might say, oh yeah, I've worked with this before, or I had something that had a blend of this fiber before. But some of these I can say 99% that maybe 99% of the people in the chat probably either did not know about or have heard of it but never had a chance to hold it or feel it or whatever. Because I did do research to look for the ones that are less available, let's say it this way. Of course, as always, as today, at the end of today's lesson, I will tell you where you guys can get all of these if you're interested. So the first fiber I want to talk about is yak. Yak may be more of a, not a rare fiber, more maybe falls under the unique fiber category of today's live because it is available. There are some bigger companies, some more mass-produced companies who use yak or yak blends, and there are probably people in the chat that had a chance to hold it, feel it, maybe even work with it. And if you have worked with yak yarn before or some kind of yak blend, then let me know in the chat. I would really like to know. But I'm gonna start by, pulling up a picture. Pulling up a picture of a yak. So here is our friend, the yak. So let's see if you guys said anything about yak before I start telling you about it. Yes, Debbie, Musk ox is on our list. Yes, Lacey, you're right on time. Wonderful. And Lacey says she's excited, especially with me. Oh, thank you. All right, so this is our friend the yak. Yes, yak. That's what they are called. And yak are a long-haired mammal. In the animal family, they belong to the bovine family. They are same family, or not species, but same animal family as cows. That's the kind of mammal they are. And they are mainly found in the Himalayan region, the Tibetan region, and some areas of Mongolia or Central Asia is their general habitat. And Lacey says he's so cute. You want one? Yes, they are. They are mountain animals. They live in areas which are pretty much, very cold, snowy, cold climates, low oxygen. They are mainly used in different communities as for carrying things, for pulling high weights and so on. Is there a yarn that is 100% yak? Yes, there is. And Tanya says she's a dairy cow milker. Wonderful. You probably know more about half of the animals I'm going to talk about today than me. He's not gonna like Florida, Lacey. No, definitely not with the kind of coat that they have. As you can see, they have very long coat, fitting for the cold climates that they live in. You never tried yak before? That's okay. That's why we are here to talk about what is yak yarn. You have a bison. Well, we're gonna talk about that later. Okay, so yak. Yes. Excuse me, let me find my notes. So this is, yes, a yak. Yak coat is actually composed out of two different layers. That happens with a lot of the animals that we're going to talk about today. It's just the construction of their coat. So it's actually composed out of two different layers. And the layer of the coat that is used to make yarn is the fine undercoat. It is delicate and soft, very, very close to cashmere. So cashmere, when we talk about cashmere, it's a fiber that I think, 90% of the people in the chat can sort of visualize what cashmere is. So this undercoat of the yak produces a fiber that's very much resembles cashmere in its softness. It will keep you warmer than sheep's wool. So if we're talking comparison of fiber, so yak fiber is definitely warmer than sheep fiber, and it regulates moisture, which is one of the benefits of getting a coat from an animal that lives in those kind of climates. It is a breathable fiber, and in addition, it is allergy friendly. So most people who are allergic to wool, again, I'm saying most because we always have the small percentage that is not not the norm, but most people who are allergic to wool will not have an allergy reaction to yak wool. Yak yarn made out of yak wool or yak fiber is wonderful to knit or crochet. It is ideal for things like sweaters, jackets, scarves, anything that is meant to be soft and keep you warm. Because it is soft and airy, so it does not irritate the skin. You know this term scarfable that a lot of people use in our community. It is a perfect fiber to wear against your skin. It does not itch or scratch. It's soft. Just as I've said, it's very cashmere. So it does not irritate the skin, and therefore it makes a wonderful choice for those wintry wearables that are meant to keep you cozy and cuddly and warm. There are some big yarn brands who have recently started to include more yuck yarns, pure or blends in their collections. It slowly makes this fiber more and more available, and mainly at the moment more in the little yarn stores and not like mass production. You probably won't find yuck at I don't know, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, and all these kind of stores. When talking about Europe, it's, you know, it's not Poundland material, but you will find it in the local yarn stores and in online shops, obviously online specialty stores that sell these kind of fibers. The prices do tend to be on the higher range, but it is not one of those super expensive, unaffordable fibers, especially because they, most of the bigger companies, not like yarn studios or indie yarn dyers who deal with yuck, the bigger companies who sell kinds of different kinds of yuck blends, because it's a blend, it sort of reduces the price. It will still not be, you know, like a $2 skein of yarn, but it will be more approachable. It will not be on like the $50-$60 range. So I personally looked up on Amazon. I found a few, again, big brands. I'm putting it like this because they are like bigger companies, but they're not mass produce companies. Like they're not Lion brand, but they still have a good range of these yarns, these wools, and so it is easier to find. It is slowly getting more the kind of like yarn for the masses kind of thing, but this is something that's slowly developing. It's a very luxurious, high quality yarn, so I hope that more and more companies will include them into their selection. At the moment, the big companies that do have it have maybe 1 or 2 types of yuck. There are some who sell 100% and some who sell blends and some who sell both, but normally it will be like one kind of yarn 100%, one kind of yarn blend, and not like a range of 5 different yarns. But it's slowly coming. So, yuck! What do you guys think? Oh, wow, you guys talked a lot. Okay. Judy says 100% yuck would be unbelievably expensive. If I used to carry a yuck combination in lace weight, which was expensive. Well, the ones that I found on Amazon were mostly Rowan, and they were on the like 13-14 euros a ball of 50 grams kind of price, but those were blends. So again, it all depends on what exactly you're looking for. 100% can be on the expensive side, as I've said, but it wouldn't be as expensive as some of the other fibers on today's list. Goodbye, Lashira. She's probably not here anymore. She probably left since she wrote it, but thank you for being here. Does yuck fiber have does yuck fiber have memory? Yes, Tanya, it does. Could you spin Bison? Oh, okay. We will talk about Bison, guys. It's coming up. Jana says it sounds like she would love yuck yarn. Not allergic to wool, but find it also itchy. Exactly. So this is the kind of wool it's very, very soft and very airy and fluffy. I love the word fluffy. And hello, Mare. Thank you for joining us. And Francie's here. She says, Tanya, I recently saw a vlog where they said no, cotton returns to its originally shape. I'm not sure what you were reacting to. Catherine says she's seen bare yarn that have yak blends. Yes, I've seen those too. Can you imagine shearing one? Yeah, I believe that that yak fiber is easier to collect in. I mean, they grow them for the coat, but actually, I did not look into the shearing process of yaks. That might be an interesting video to see. Hi Petra, thank you for joining, welcome. Debbie says it sounds nice, and the other Debbie says she'd love to try the yak yarn. Expensive fiber, expression fiber arts. Okay, so the Judy specifically, expression fiber arts is expensive. I mean, it is already an expensive yarn brand, so I would imagine that if it is 100% yak, which is already a more expensive fiber, as well as hand dyed, which is what they do at Expression Fiber Arts, is like Expression Fiber Arts is more of a yarn studio and not a big mass-produced yarn company. So I do not include them in the same rubric as Rowan, for example. Is it a big reduction in luxuriousness when it is mixed with acrylic? I do not know. I have not seen yak acrylic blend. However, I would assume that any kind of wool that's mixed with acrylic loses some of the better wool qualities. If you go for a blend, I would go for a yak and other kind of wool blend. I have seen, yak merino, these kind of fibers. Do I spin? No. I do not need another hobby to get addicted to. There are some fiber arts that I would really much like to do, but I know that if I will start, I will once again get addicted to it, and I just don't have the time. So, I knit, I crochet, I design, and I have tons of other things that I do. You guys who watch my channel know that I'm a very, very busy person in general. So if I will also start spinning, I've done, my tasting of dyeing yarn, and I so want to do that on a regular basis that it's unbelievable. So when I say, oh, I would love to dye more yarn, oh, now I would love to spin yarn, I will not, I don't have the time of day to take on another, but no, I do not spin. It could be, Tanya, that they shed it naturally because some of the other animal from the same family that are on our list shed theirs naturally, and then they don't need to be sheared. They the people who grow them for their fiber for their coat just have to pretty much go and collect it from the ground and different places where they shed it. So it could be that they shed it naturally. Specifically about the yak, I did not have that specific information. But for the other two that are from the same family and are on our list, I know that they shed it naturally. So you actually might have a point there. Did I hear you say this is what is considered cashmere? No, I said that is very similar to cashmere. I said that yak yarn, the feel of yak yarn, or the outcome when you hold yak yarn, what you think of, if you want to compare it, what is it comparable to? It is comparable to cashmere. It has sort of the same qualities. Okay, so yuck. Which take us to our next one, and this one is a very close relative of the yak, and some of you already mentioned it, so I think it would be the natural choice to go to next, and that is the Bison. I'm sorry. Let me move myself here for a second. Maybe this way you can see it better. It's a Bison. So someone in the chat mentioned that they have one. I would love to hear about that. Do you grow them for a specific purpose? And is that purpose making or the fiber, or is it for something else? So this is a Bison. It looks very similar. But it's the same family. They do belong to the bovine family. They are also a very large mammal, as you can see on the picture. They are most commonly found in North America and Europe. So the yak is maybe the bison's Asian relative, or the bison is the American relative of the yak. American bison live in river valleys and prairies and plains, while European ones are most commonly, their most common habitat is actually light wooded areas, but I think that's more, Europe is more light wooden or deep wooden areas, and the Americas have more of these open plains. We don't really have a lot of these here. So this is, the main difference in their habitat, but other than that, they do belong to the same family. They both look for areas which have increased shrubs and bushes. The ones you see in the picture here, this is the American bison, and I'm gonna go back to the chat real quick and see if someone answered my question. Oh, you don't own a bison. There are protected areas by your house that you can go and watch them. Oh, that's cool. Okay. No, because you said you should see my bison. I had some kind of image of, you farming them. Tanya says, big boy, woolly bully. Yeah. Lacey says she will need one of these for her fantasy fiber farm. It's so cute. Lacey, I see you have developed a liking to these kind of animals. Might be very interesting to visit your fantasy fiber farm one day. Let's let bisons be bisons. Lacey says she is surprised that fiber would be able to be gathered from bison. Their hair is so short, while the yak and sheep are have such long hairs. Well, yes. So, the thing about bison is their coat is quite hard to collect. As someone said, they are mostly protected. And so what happens is in the springtime, they rub off their coat against bushes, rocks, small posts, if they are, for example, in the European forest, so against trees, and so on. And this exotic fiber has to be collected and sorted before it's being spun into yarn. And once again, just like with the yak, it is the undercoat of the bison that is suitable for being made into yarn. So when you look at a bison, you might think, it doesn't look as, when you see the yak from before, he had this long hair and it looked like, yeah, I can work with that. Here you don't see that much of it. But they do shed their coat in the springtime, and then as it is collected, it is being sorted into this undercoat and the outer coat, and the undercoat is the one that is then being used in the fiber industry. And bison wool is light and delicate, is very similar to the yak one. It produces soft, highly insulated and hypoallergenic yarn. So just like the yak, it is very friendly to people who are allergic to wool. Once again, we said there will always be the exception, but mainly people who are allergic to sheep wool will not have the same reaction to bison yarn. Which will and this highly insulated kind of fiber will make a very warm winter-worthy garments. So once again, we are talking sweaters, coats, vests, this kind of thing, and not irritating on the skin. Items that are made with bison yarn will get softer with washing. So the more you wash them, the softer they get. And they actually say about items that are made with bison that of course, like any other wool fiber, you have to hand wash them, lay them flat to dry and so on, and be careful with the dealing. But they do say that that they keep for a long time. Bison yarn is pretty rare and only a small number of specialty yarn companies carry it. So unlike the yak, that more and more companies are starting to combine it into their collection and selling different blends of it. When we talk about bison, it's actually more on the rare side, probably because of the way this yarn is collected and because the animal is a protected animal. So only a small number of companies carry it, and those are pretty much only specialty yarn companies or specialty yarn studios, and it is therefore quite expensive, and it can get as high as $200 and sometimes even more for just 100 grams of pure bison yarn. So 100% bison, 100 grams, which is 3.5 ounces, can come up to about $200. Yikes. Do you still like it? So what do you guys think? Let me know. So Tanya says, yeah, alpaca has little to no memory, and bison is your favorite, your province mascot. Oh, wow. Manitoba, Canada. So the province mascot is a bison. Isn't there like a football team called the Bisons? These big animals are in Yellowstone National Park. They are protected there. I think they are protected everywhere, which is probably, like I said, one of the causes why it is so rare. You will always... Jana says she was almost caught in a bison stampede when she was 4 years old. Oh my god, how did that happen? Julie has photos of bison she has taken at Yellowstone and Theodore Roosevelt National Parks. Bison are too dangerous to get close enough to shear. Yes, and they also don't need to be sheared because they shed their coats. Yeah, Jana, tell us about it. Mary says she saw them at Terry's Bison Ranch in Wyoming, and they had a restaurant. We rode a small bus with a herd. They are huge animal. They had a restaurant. I don't think they eat them. They are protected, right? Yes, Hope. In my opinion, more to, I would love to hold this yarn once, to squish it and say I did like feel it once, or I have seen it somewhere, but I don't think, I would not spend $200 on 100 grams of it. It is crazy expensive. Exactly, Catherine. Where is this bison fiber sold? Bison being quite common here. I have never seen nor heard of it before. Bison meat is very common here as well. You think that their fiber would be too. So, as I've said, first of all, if you don't want to wait until the end of the live, and if you're just generally interested, links are in the description box below to different websites where I have found these fibers being sold. So if you are interested in just going on the website and checking it out, or where is it exactly that they sell these yarns and what do they look like, then links are in the description box below. And at the end, after we talk about all the fibers, I will also do a small rundown of the website. So I will take you to the website, as I always do with sharing my screen, and show you guys a little bit of what they offer. Some of these offer specialty yarns, so they will only sell one of these yarns, and some of them have a collection of those rare fibers and will sell some of them all in one place. You had no idea Bison yarn existed. Buffalo Bills is the football team. Oh, okay. So it's a buffalo. I believe bisons are too aggressive to farm, therefore they cannot be sheared either. No, I don't think there's a need to shear them, because as we said, they are they lose their coat naturally, and all you have to do is like collect it. So Jana says she does not remember much. She was in South Dakota driving through the park. We're out of the car. All she remembers is the adults shouting to get back in the car because the buffaloes were coming. Oh, wow. Julie, so there are restaurants serving their meat. I was under the impression that they are like a protected animal. You ate bison stew and it was good, and I have had bison burgers. Ooh, okay. So is it a juicy kind of meat? Not that I'm not just interested. Denise says okay, so they do. They have bison farms, then they grow them for meat. You have, Catherine. I haven't. Lacey says she would probably buy one skein for her collection. Would definitely have to save it though. Yeah, I mean, even if you buy it, I wouldn't be as much as to say this. If you spend that much on like one hank of yarn or like one skein of yarn, I would probably be like always thinking, is this the perfect project for it? Because this yarn was crazy expensive. So it will probably end up sitting on a shelf and be more of like a collection, like a collector's item, and not a yarn that I actually make anything out of, because whatever I'll make out of it in the end will probably not be good enough because of the yarn was so crazy expensive. Denise says more commonly is buffalo ranches that are beef cattle buffalo crows herd. Oh, okay. Beefalo. They are protected from hunting. Okay, so good to know. Interesting though, right? All of you knew that these animals existed. All of you knew that they grew them for meat. Some of you may have eaten them, but none of you knew that they make yarn out of them. Isn't that awesome? Well, they do. And I have never held a skein of buffalo yarn before, but I have seen it sold in different places. So like I said, I got you guys the websites in the description box below if anyone is interested in it. If any of you ever actually end up buying it, I need a picture of you saying, "You made me do it," or something like that, you know? I blame you. I spent $200 on this here. Mary says it's a healthy beef. It's not fatty, more on the dry side. Oh. Guess they could take the wool from butched animals. There is another animal somewhere in American continent that the fiber can only be had from dead animals. That can be. Yes, exactly, Catherine. That's probably the reason why I will never buy this kind of yarn, because it will never be made into anything. It would be more of like a collector's item on my shelf somewhere. As if, like, you know, someone comes by and I will be like, look, this is my bison yarn. So It impresses absolutely no one that's not a fiber lover. All right, so you guys want to move on to the next interesting one? Let me know. I'm gonna take a sip. And while I take a sip, I'll tell you all that if you're just joining us, please don't forget to hit the like button. If you're new here, I would very much appreciate if you consider subscribing to my channel. If you're interested in the membership program, there is a join button next to the subscribe button below, and if you press on that, you will get the full rundown on what it includes and what it entails. And if you cannot see the join button, then in the description box below this video, there's also a link that will take you directly to the membership. And I will take a sip and then I'll tell you about this week's giveaway. Julie says, when we visited South Dakota, she saw a local yarn shop advertising Bison yarn. We weren't able to visit, but I believe they sell online. We'll try to find the website. Oh yes, Julie, please do, and email it to me. Lacey said, OMG, I used your saying the other day. I was going to pass up on a yarn sale, but told my husband I recognized and said it. Life is too short, like Reggie would say. Buy the damn yarn. Definitely. Life's too short. Buy the damn yarn. Not if it costs $200 for 100 grams. But buy it. Need to be kept in a vault. Exactly like the yarn vault. Ooh, the yarn vault. Oh my god. If I will have a yarn store, please remind me one day that the Yarn Vault was the name I wanted to name it. Okay, so let me tell you about this week's giveaway. As you know, every week we have a giveaway on the Yarniversity. The way it works is once the class is finished, not now, not in the chat, after this video is going into replay. So once the live chat is done, you go back to the channel, you find the video on the channel, and you leave a comment down below. And I want you to leave me a comment telling me from all these weird, rare, unique yarns that we talk about today, which one was your favorite or the one you're most interested in finding out more about, maybe buying, maybe trying. Let me know in the comments. And next week on the next Yarniversity, I will choose the winner. And the winner of today's giveaway or this week's giveaway will win this set of minis. Focus. Okay, this is the set of minis. It's called Allison and May's Specials Ombre, and it is the pink ombre version. Look at those. They are very, very cute. And they are 100% acrylic, 5 balls of 10 grams each, 25 meters. And they recommend a 3 to 3.5 millimeter needle for those. So that's that. And you will also get this bracelet. It is an adjustable bracelet that you can adjust to your size, and it had scissors on it. I thought that was cute. So that would be along with the set of minis. And to top it off, I have this little set of tags to sew on your finished object. And it says made with love, handmade with love, and just with love, and different things like that. So this will be along with it. So this is in this week's giveaway, and if you want to win that, all you have to do is once this video is done, go come back to the video and comment down below which of today's fibers was your favorite, and or you would most like to try or buy or have you worked with before. Just tell me in the comments, and next week I will choose the winner. So if you're just joining in, we are talking about the world's most rare, unique, and weird fibers. All the fibers we're talking about today are animal-based fibers because we already did a whole Yarniversity about vegan fibers. So today is all animal-based, and we already spoke about yak and bison, and in just a second we will move on. But I just want to address what Francie just said. She said Hobby goes live in a few minutes. Yes, Hobby does a live stream once in every 2 weeks now. it was, or it used to be, 2 hours before mine begin, and then I could always attend. For some reason this week they are right in the middle of my live stream. I have contacted them because Lina and Gia are the cutest. They actually answered me, and I told them, why is it right in smack in the middle of my live stream that I cannot attend? And they said, oh, we're so sorry you cannot attend. We look forward to your comments every time, because I attend each one of their live streams. They already recognize my name. And so, yeah, sadly, they are going live in just a few minutes, and I would totally understand you guys abandoning me to go see them. If it was not my live stream, I would probably abandon me and go watch them. So totally understandable if you guys want to do that. That is totally fine. As I've said, all of today's information, of course, you can watch the chat on replay, and all of the information is also on the blog, and the link to the blog is in the description box below this video. So today's lesson is already written down, and you guys can already read it there. Hello Linda, thank you for joining. You guys like the bracelet and the yarn. I'm very happy. Hello Tracy from Crochet Rocks, welcome. You guys like the giveaway package. Tracy, I was talking about Hobby. Hobby is going live right now. That's 7 p.m. my time. And they are, normally, they are every second Sunday, 2 hours before my live stream, but for some reason today they changed the time to some other time. I guess they were not able to go live on the time that they normally do. So today they are smack right in the middle of my live stream, which is terrible because this is my favorite yarn company of all times. You guys all know I'm a big Hobby fan and I always watch their live streams. But what can you do? I am teaching a lesson on Yarniversity today, and that is fine. I will watch their replay. If I had a hank of these rare fibers, I would have them in a bulletproof lock display cabinet vault. Vault would be no good. No excuse for boasting. Nobody would see it and ask, what is that? Oh, that is a good point. You want to, show that to people. Then show off. I have that skein of yarn. It cost me $200. Yes, Hobby, the yarn company, they have a YouTube channel, and every second week they have a live stream with Lina and Gia. They are amazingly hilarious, very, very cute girls who run the Hobby YouTube channel. Mostly on their channel you will find different kinds of tutorials, but once in every 2 weeks they go live and they talk about different things that have to do, of course, only with Hobby. So yeah. Hi Judy, thank you for joining. Tracy says she was also going to do a live stream. You're not sure if you will. Well, if you will, we will hop on there. Jana says she loves the cute pink yarn. Goes with her Insta Twitter handle, Petite Pink Mama. I'm not sure, was that a reply to something? Oh, this one. I'm sorry. This. You like this pink yarn. Wonderful. Then all you have to do is come back to the video and comment once it goes into replay. And next week on the Yarniversity, I pull out the winner. Lacey, thank you. Thank you. Hello, Jean. Reggie and Tracy the same day. Yes. Tracy, you would never buy any yarn for $200. Yeah, that's what I was saying too. Thank you, Bobby. So thank you for everyone who is sticking with me, and we are going to move on right into the next one. So we spoke about yak and we spoke about bison, and the next one is kivyut. So someone asked me before if I have musk ox on my list. Musk ox is the next one I'm going to talk about. However, for some strange reason, yarn or fiber made out of musk ox coat is called kivyut. If anyone knows why, I would love for you to tell me in the comments. So there it is here. This is a musk ox. Debbie, I have no idea. As far as I know, they're supposed to go back to the regular time, but we will only know in 2 weeks. I'm happy you're here, Linda. And Tracy, yeah, I bought a furl because everyone was talking about it. I had to see what it's like. I hate it, so I sold it. And I will not buy another one. So Catherine says she knows of it, but never felt it. And Francie, I love it that you're staying here. And yeah, I know she also has her live on Sundays, but she's normally way later. All right. So here, I normally am on the other side of the screen when the picture is on, so I'm kind of confused. But right now, this is the musk ox. And this is a pretty recent addition to the selection of animal fibers. And as I have said, the fiber made out of musk ox coat is called kivyut. So the kivyut is wool produced from the coat of a musk ox, and these animals have inhabited the Arctics for many thousands of years, and their long shaggy hair is well adapted to the frigid climate. So as we were talking before about the yak, you can see they have long coats, but once again, when we talk about fiber of made out of musk ox or kivyut is actually made out of their undercoat once again. So this entire family of animals pretty much have the same construction of coat. They have the inner coat and the outer longer coat, and we spoke about the bison that they shed their coat. So there's a lot of similarities in between the different kinds. However, because each of these animals their habitat are in a different climate, then of course it has its own reflection in the way the fiber is. So their long, shaggy hair is well adapted to those cold climate. The outer hairs, they are called the guard hairs. And the shorter undercoat, that's the one we're talking about. It provides additional insulation in the winter. The undercoat, however, falls out when the temperature climbed at the winter's end. And kivyut, the word kivyut, as I said, refers specifically to that undercoat that falls down in the winter, in the end of winter or the beginning of spring. Because the hair falls off in large chunks of its own, harvesting kivyut is very easy. Just as we said about the bison, all you have to do is, there is no need of shearing. All you have to do is collect those chunks of coat that fall off the animal as the spring arrives. So kivyut is naturally soft. The color is sort of like a grayish brown color, and it is one of the warmest and most luxurious fibers in the world. So in terms of keeping you warm, insulation, and so on, it is way up high on the list of fibers. It does resemble cashmere, but it is softer, finer, and fluffier. So kivyut is softer, finer, and fluffier than cashmere. Now, if you ever felt cashmere, you know how high quality this fiber is. If it's above cashmere on those lists. So the undercoat, the kivyut, is also oil-free. So the absence of oils in the fiber makes it less allergenic. So once again, just like when we spoke about yak and bison, for those of you allergic to wool, Kiviut might not give you the same reaction. And therefore, it is more suitable for those people who are suffering from different allergies. Despite its lightness, the Kiviut has considerable strength. So it is a very strong, durable fiber. It can withstand temperature shock and agitation without shrinking, peeling, or felting. So like I said, the difference in the different fibers is because of the way these animals, or the habitat of these animals. So the musk ox, they live in the Arctic. Obviously, they need this different kind of coat, and because of all those qualities in their coat, we get the same qualities in the yarn. So just as the coat can withstand those shock of temperatures because they live in that kind of climate, it is the same with the final product. Clothing made from Kiviut are said to become softer and more beautiful as they age. We said something similar about the bison. This is a kind of fiber that withstands for a long time. Think about it. It doesn't, well, of course, when handled correctly, because it is after all a kind of wool, but it can withstand very long periods of time without shrinking, peeling, or felting. So you get a finished product that lasts years. Now, global production of this fiber amounts to about 5 to 6 tons annually. That's not a lot. So it's making it, this is what makes it one of the more rare animal fibers in the world. If we put it on a scale with the bison and the yak, who are sort of similar animals and similar fibers, so the musk ox or the Kiviut will be the most rare and the most luxurious of them, of these three. And due to its rarity, Kiviut yarn is almost ridiculously expensive, more than the bison one, and it can get to a price of up to $150 for 20 grams. So you remember we said up around $200 for 100 gram of bison. So $150 for 20 gram. That's 1 ounce of Kiviut. So yeah. All right, so what do you guys think? Let's see what you guys said. Linda says she also doesn't like the furls, and Tracy had a wooden one, but still have not even used it. How is the fiber spelled? So it's spelled Kiviut. That is Qiviut. Where were we? How is it spelled? Catherine says her special yarn store has it. Really? Wow. Oh, I know which one you're talking about. Oh, I wonder how much it cost there. Lacey says she loves him. Her fantasy fiber farm will also have a muskox. And Bobby says she used her furl, love it, but seem to grab her clovers these days. Tracy is still here, but in her yarn purchase basket, so no problem. You can always lurk here. We welcome lurkers. He does look like he is posing. I have very good models today on all of my pictures. Debbie says there's a musk ox farm only 1 hour away from me. I called for a tour and I will make an appointment as soon as it warms up. Oh, that is so interesting. I would love to do that. Catherine says she loves his cute white boots. Debbie, yeah, I assume, Debbie, that you are in Alaska because, you know, they live in those Arctic areas. His horns look like earrings. So Catherine says her yarn store sells it for 50 euros for 100 grams. I wonder if it's real musk ox. Catherine, the question is if it's pure kivyut. So Dennis is my husband, for those of you who don't know, and he says there's a lot of steak today on my show. Yes. We just had steak for lunch, so now I feel bad. Debbie says her daughter-in-law works for a doctor, and at Christmas time, the office staff bought the doctor a scarf and was a $700 range. Wow. Wow. Guess they like him. No, Jana, not the prize. Hi, Kim. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Mare says yak seems like bargain when compared to this new yarn. Yeah, so I did kind of like put them on a scale. So we started with the yak, which is more mass produced these days. There are more companies that sell or some kind of either 100% yak or some kind of blend, and you can get it in more comfortable prices. Then we advance to the Bison, which is on the expensive scale and more rare to find. And now we are at kivyut, which again you will find at very, very special yarn studios, places that are like specialty stores, but it is on the very expensive side. So that was kivyut. I'm gonna take a sip, and I'm gonna remind you all that if you haven't yet, please don't forget to hit the like button. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget, when this video is finished, come back to the video and comment down below which of the fibers was your favorite or you would most like to try, or if you have worked with before or bought in the past. And next week we will choose a winner for that giveaway. Wow, they bought him a pure musk ox scarf. That is amazing. Hello, Tracy. No worries. We only did 3 fibers so far out of 9, so you still have 2/3 to go with us. Yes, that was pure kivyut. That was pure kivyut. The silk blend is $25. Wow, that is a really good price, Catherine. And I wonder why they sell it that cheap. I'm gonna have to take a look at that. And thank you for the link. All right, so should we move to the next one? We are kind of leaving the bovine family with the next one. But I'm gonna wait a second to see if you guys have anything else to say about kivyut, or in general, or any questions before we move on to the next one. Okay, I don't see anything, so we are moving on. And the next one we're gonna talk about is Camel. Yes, Camel yarn. Now, this fiber is slowly becoming more and more popular. So some of you may have already seen it, felt it, worked with it. So let me know. Jana says there are 9 and we are already at way more than I can afford. Well, they are not going by price the whole way. So those were the first three ones were from the bovine family and I went by price. And now we're moving to the next family. Those are the camelide family. Camelid. So the first one is the camel. Now, when we talk about camel yarn, me in person, personally, when someone tells me camel yarn, the first thing that comes to mind, maybe because of, you know, I was born in Israel, I grew up in the desert, and when someone tells me camel, I think, this is what I think. I think camel. You know, this is the animal that comes to mind, and I say that doesn't have that much wool on it. I mean, I say it doesn't look like it's gonna make such great yarn, right? But in fact, when we talk about camel yarn, we talk about the Bactrian camel, and they look like this. So that looks a little bit more fluffy, right? More yarny, friendly. Tracy says it gives me the hump though. Camel yarn gives me the hump. I love it. I love it. And Tanya said she's told her there are only that many jokes to be made about fiber, you know? Tracy, that's hilarious. I love it. Okay, so when we talk about camel yarn, we when you think about it, you may, like me, think about that short-haired creatures who live in the desert. But camel wool, or most commonly referred to as camel hair, is actually derived from the Bactrian camel. This dude here, this is a subspecies of the camelid family. And he is also known as the Mongolian camel. It has two humps. And it is native to Central Asia. These camels, just like the bovine family, they have two layers of hair. They have the guard hair, the outer layer of hair that is coarse and straight, and the undercoat, which is soft and fine. And as you have all figured out by now, this one is the layer that's used to make the camel wool. So unlike other wool product or wool production methods that typically involve shearing the animal's hair, camel wool is harvested when they shed their coats during spring, just like with the bison and the kivyut. So that seems to be a common method amongst people who raise different animals who share their coats. With time, they seem to have come to the understanding that this will make a good fiber and they can still use it. Most of these animals are being raised for different things. We spoke about, you know, raising them for meat. Some of them are raised for to carry different weights as carrying animals. And so normally these kind of societies who raise these animals, the more you can get out of the animal, the better. And so they have come to the understanding that when those camels lose their coats in the spring, they can collect that, and then they can wash the fiber and sort it and get those undercoats parts of it separated and make that into fiber. So it is harvested when they are losing their coats during spring, and it makes this harvesting system sustainable and cruelty free. So, you know, it's when we were talking in the beginning about animal fiber, there are a lot of these questions. So most of the time when we talk about camel wool, camel yarn, camel hair, it's made in a cruelty-free way, and these animals are actually, I don't think anyone eats camels, so I don't think at any stage they are being hunted or killed for anything. The individual hairs are extremely fine with a fiber diameter of 16 to 20 microns. Therefore, the wool itself feels very soft on the skin and is comparable to cashmere. So we already spoke about other kinds of yarns that are comparable to cashmere. And this is about the same, when I talk about family of softness. Yeah, so it's very comparable. Camel's hair is thermoregulated to keep them warm in the cold and cool in hot temperature. And that translates into a very, very breathable fiber. But again, the fiber itself takes the qualities of the coat. So it also becomes a fiber that keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's cold. It's very usable. Camel yarn has a light sheen. It sort of feels like it's, you might sometimes say that it's not like those, those type of acrylic that you look at them and they have like a little glare to them. So a lot of the camel yarns have that too. Again, it depends on the kind of process that the specific company does while making it, but a lot of the camel yarns have that sheen to them. And it is light and very, very fine and fluffy. Due to the natural shade of camel hair, not many camel hair yarns are being dyed, but when they are being dyed, you will get sort of like a muted color because the original fiber is not white or cream in this case. The yarn is suitable for sweaters, cardigans, different accessories, shawls, hats, everything that's meant to keep you warm, but still light sweaters. As we said, if you make like a spring sweater or a spring shawl, then when it's warm, it will keep you cool. It will not make you sweat. And camel fiber might not be as popular as other fiber, but it has unique features, which is why it is still very much a part of the global fiber and yarn industry. You can find quite a large selection of camel wool blends and even some that are 100% camel wool in big yarn company stores out there. They are mostly produced and sold by high-end yarn studios and high-end yarn companies. So maybe, like I said before, maybe not Lion Brand and Premier, but those Rowan, Pasquale, the brands that are not as big as the big brands, but are still out there, and you will find them at your local yarn store. As well as, of course, all the private indie spinners and dyers. If you are a spinner, there's a lot of different websites who actually sell camel raw fiber. So if you like to spin your own, that is even more easy to get than camel yarn. But some larger yarn brands have also recently started to include them in their selection. It is quite reasonable priced, and I have found some yarn companies that sell camel yarn for the price of $15-16, so very accessible. So let's see what you guys said about camel. An alpaca and a camel fell in love. That's what he looks like, huh? You heard it's softer than superwash merino. Yes, like I said, it is like cashmere. And Judy says Expression Fiber Arts has a yarn called Oasis Fingering. They combine it with mulberry silk, and it is really nice and soft. It is very lightweight but lovely yarn, and she loves it. Tracy says he looks cuddly. I never thought that I would ever refer to a camel as a cuddly animal. And you guys love his face. Are these camels that are used for camel hair brushes? I have no idea, but good question. kind of reminds me of Johnny Bravo in the face. Catherine says all she knows about camels is that they smell and spit. How do I remember all of this? I have notes, but I'm a nerd, so both combined. The hump is considered a delicacy. I had no idea. Camels also ask, hey son, you know what day it is? Oh! You guys, camel jokes, really? Have we come to that? Yes, Catherine, I will give in the end, like I said, the rundown of websites, but specifically there is a website called World of Wool, and I highly recommend, if you, I know you're a spinner, so I highly recommend you go and check it out in general because I have some wonderful fibers. Hello Ursula, welcome, thank you for being here. And Tanya says she guessed sheep wool is more common because they are easier to farm from other fibers, of course, but definitely not as luxurious as other. No, not at all. In fact, when talking about wool, like you said, sheep are easy to breed and are pretty much easy to grow. A different breed in every different country or any different part of the world. But in terms of fiber quality and the different qualities of the yarn, like the different aspects and different things that you get from it, sheep wool is like way down here, even though, again, you know, merino is amazing and BFL is gorgeous, and all the different blends are amazing. And of course, when we go to the store and we buy a yarn at one of the big box stores, then we will not get these fibers that we're talking about today. We will get merino or any other kind of wool, and sometimes even, I mean, here in Germany, when I go and I shop for a yarn in the store, the label will just say wool. It wouldn't even say what kind of wool, but you know that when you say wool, they refer to sheep wool, and this is like in the world of animal fiber, it is the most common and most used one, but in terms of the quality and what you get from the yarn, it is down here. Linda said it would be nice to find a wool I can use as you're allergic to wool. So Linda, we were mentioning that a few times before. Many of these are hypoallergenic. We were talking about yak, bison, and the musk ox, which is also called kiviut, and they are all very allergic friendly, so they are hypoallergenic, or they are considered to be. There's always the exception, of course, so don't take me by the word, but they are oil free, they don't have the lanolin in there, so a lot of people who are allergic to wool will not be allergic to these. Tanya, as a spinner, you would love to use these fibers, then yeah, definitely you too go check the website World of Wool. Tracy says she needs a lot of camels used as transportation, especially in desert areas. Do you think they harvest their wool if they are used for transportation? No. So Tracy, I did say we are not talking about the kind of animals that live in those deserts of the Sahara. There's a different kind of camel, and yes, they are still being used for transportation, but I think that the communities that use them for transportation have also come to the understanding that when they shed their coats in the springtime and they collect it, they can make it into fiber, which is another resource that they can get out of this animal. Sheep wool characteristics are poor. Yeah, Tanya, that was what I was trying to say. So when you talk about sheep wool, we all know, I mean, again, we all know the merino, for example, is an amazing yarn. Yeah, it's soft, it's wonderful to work with. It has so many good qualities. Some the characteristic of the yarns are amazing. So it is not to say that sheep wool is in any way not good. It is just not as good as these fibers, which are like way up here. But also, you know, you don't, these are the fibers that we talk about today. It's not the kind of fibers that you use every day. That was the whole point of this class, to get to know those less known yarns and fibers. Also, you wonder if camels used for harvesting their coats are fed differently to increase the value of that coat. That is a good question. I wonder, and I will look into that. And Catherine says she realized she totally missed the opportunity to make Elon Musk oaks. Well, you got it now. Cheers to that. Cheers. Where are all my members with my cute yarn emoji? This is the time to share it. It's never too late. Exactly. Lacey is right. It's never too late. All right. So anything specific you want to say about Camel before we move on to the next one? Debbie says she has never heard of any of these fiber yet. So informative. So I'm happy, Debbie. This was the whole point of today. And here are my wine emojis. Yay! Cheers! Cheers to all my members. Cheers to all of you. So if you're just tuning in, we are talking about the world's most rare, unique, weird fibers. All the fibers that we are talking about today are animal fibers, because I had a whole Yarniversity live stream about vegan fibers. So if you're interested in those kind of fibers, then you can go back to my channel and find a Yarniversity class. It's all about vegan yarns. Today we are talking animal-based fibers, the most rare, unique, weird, and expensive, as it turns out, yarns. And if you're just joining in, don't forget to hit the like button. If you're new here, I would very much appreciate if you consider subscribing to my channel. If you want to join the channel membership, there is the join button next to the subscribe button down below. And if you don't see the join button on some devices, you cannot see it, then there is also a link to it in the description box below this video. All of today's information, everything that I'm talking about, if you missed the beginning, you missed the end, you have to step away in the middle, it is all written down on the J-Hook Crochet blog, so you can also read it later, and you can also always come back and watch the replay. The link to the blog is in the description box below, and if you come back and watch the replay, don't forget to leave a comment to enter into the giveaway. And this week's question was, which one of the fibers that I'm talking about was your favorite, the one you're most interested in, the one you wanted to try, one you have worked before, anything you have to say about any of them. Tracy says, which fibers did I miss? Musk ox, camel. Oh, we were talking, so the first one we talked about was yak, and then bison, and then we did musk ox and camel. And with your all's permission, we are going to move to the next one. So I'm going to pull up the picture first. The most rare yarn I feel is Hobby Lobby. I love this cotton. Can't get Hobby Lobby yarn in Canada. Well, for me, Hobby Lobby yarn is like an non-existence. We don't have Hobby Lobby in Germany. All right, so the next one we're gonna talk about is the llama. You guys all know llamas, right? This cute little fellow. Now, before I start talking about the llama, I'm going to ask you all, The llama, first of all, a llama is it belongs to the camelid family, so it is like a distant relative of the camel. Also belonging to that camel are some other species that some of them will also come up next. But tell me in the chat if you guys know how to tell the difference between a llama and an alpaca. So an alpaca is like the distant relative of the llama that we all know, because alpaca fiber is like the fiber, the fiber of the day, you know. It's like it's everywhere. Every company that like respects itself has some kind of version of alpaca or alpaca blend, and we all know how wonderful that fiber is, and it's also very hypoallergenic. So but llama, however, llama fiber is actually a more recent discovery. But when I grew up, not very far away from where I lived, about an hour drive away, was an alpaca and llama farm. So from a very young age, I knew to tell the difference between the two. But lately, as I've been getting more and more into the fiber arts family, I found out that many people cannot tell the difference. So let me know, do you know how to tell the difference between a llama and an alpaca? Debbie, you can't get Hobby Lobby yarn too. Kim says, Jamie, you must have some of these cold weather animals in Canada. That is correct. You probably do. Tracy just did a Hobby Lobby haul last night. Oh, wow. Tracy loves llamas and alpaca. Llama caja. Yes, Debbie. Exactly. Llama caja. Yes, Ursula says you tell the difference by their ears. That is true. Catherine says alpaca looks like a shrunken llama and they have wool on their legs and heads too. It's Lorenzo Llama. Hi, Jeanette. Welcome. Okay, so before we continue and talking about llamas, so all right, you guys, here you can see a llama and an alpaca. The easiest way, in case you don't see let's say the alpaca has just been sheared and you don't see that it has fluffier and whatever. So yes, llamas are bigger, they have longer necks and long pointy ears. Alpacas are shorter, they have shorter necks and round small ears. So if you don't have a llama and an alpaca standing right next to the other, like in this picture, so that you can look at them and say, oh, this one's bigger, this one is the llama, then all you have to do is look at the ears. If the ears are short and round, it's an alpaca. If the ears are long and pointy, it's a llama. So let's pull back my llama. And this specific llama was, the picture was, oh, sorry, I have to make it smaller so you can see. So this specific picture was taken in Peru, in the Machu Picchu, which is a beautiful place, and I highly recommend you all to go when you can. Yes, Mayor, it is the ears, facial hair, says Debbie. Yes, Jamie did tell us all about the Bison buffaloes farm. Alpacas do have the cutest faces. They just look generally like a very cute animal. So, llamas. The llamas is a domesticated South American camelid. So as I said, it does belong to the same family. It is like a distant relative of the camel. Unlike its distant cousin, the alpaca, llamas were merely used as pack animals or as transportation tool for many years to carry loads, and their fiber was never considered to be usable due to how coarse it is. However, today there are more and more llamas that have fine fleece. It is mainly due to the domestication of the llamas, of them being raised in farms, and also due to different kinds of crossbreeds. And so today llamas also have very, very fine fleece. And just like alpacas, llamas do have to be sheared. So here we are not talking about like the camel, the bison, and musk ox that we were talking about before. These are animals who actually do have to be sheared for their coat. However, they are domesticated animals, and most of them, or the ones which are being sheared for their fiber, pretty much grow in farms that this is their use. And I mean, it's probably not a pleasant thing to go through, but they are used to it. However, after shearing, it takes 2 years for the llama's coat to regrow. So therefore, even though each shearing yields about 8 pounds of fiber, it only amounts to 4 pounds per year, because you can only shear them once in every 2 years. But it's not a very large amount. Maybe that is the reason why alpaca fiber is, or another reason why alpaca fiber is more common or more popular, because of this specific fact. Llama fiber is very, very similar to alpaca fiber in its characteristics. Just like alpaca, llama fiber contains no natural oils or lanolin, which makes it hypoallergenic. Ding, 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 for all of you who are talking about being allergic to wool. And in fact, in terms of fiber arts, both of the fibers can pretty much be considered as the same fiber. So if you worked with alpaca, you know what it feels like to work with llama yarn. It's pretty much the same. Llamas comes in a very large variety of colors, which means yarn made from llama fiber can have a very extended range of neutral color without having to be dyed. So I have seen several yarn companies who produce llama yarns, and they do have a very, very large range of those neutral colors. And due to the yarn not going through the coloring process, you get a higher quality of yarn. So you get those whites, creams, beige, browns, different kinds of grays, black. Even some of them are even rosy or kind of like silvery color, and so you can get a very, very large variety of colors from just the basic fiber. So that is an advantage. It doesn't necessarily has to be dyed. Llama yarn has a very high thermal capacity. It has lightness and high wear durability, and making it a desirable yarn for sweaters, hats, and coats, things that need to last long, that you wear more often. It is a durable yarn. And recently, more and more yarn brands discovered the advantages of llama fiber, resulting in a large selection of yarn containing 100% llama, as well as different blends. And big brand mass production means more comfortable and affordable prices. So unlike some of the yarns that we spoke about today, if you do want to buy a ball of llama yarn, it will be easier to find and a way more friendlier, accessible price, which is always good for all of us yarn lovers, because we all know that our actual hobby is buying yarn. So what do you guys think about the llamas? Did I take this specific picture? No, but I have a very similar one. There was a land developer here in Des Moines who had a huge block of land he had turned into a llama farm. There were over 100 head roaming loose on probably 300 acres. Oh, wow. Do they shear their faces? I don't think so. Catherine says she only knows the really rough garments you can buy from Bolivian vendors on festival and markets here. Yeah, but I mean, personally, I have had one of those llama yarn balls from a company that's a pretty big, well, it's a relatively big UK company, and the yarn itself does not feel like those. So I'm not sure what kind of process that fiber goes through. Tracy, she hears llamas are the watchdogs of the herds. Farmers like to put them with their cattle to keep away predators. Oh, wow. I did not know that. You never worked with alpaca, Jana? No. Well, it could be. It depends on what kind. Of course, we all know that even when you buy wool, some wool can be very soft, some wool, so it's the same with alpaca. There's, I mean, baby alpaca, for example, is one of the softest, like, yarn, cloud-like yarns that I've ever had. So Jamie says it can be itchy, but also is amazing light and airy to work with. Yes. What's more expensive, llama or alpaca? I would assume that llama, because even though it is slowly growing in production, it is still not as common as alpaca in terms of fiber. Tracy, you gotta get off, going to set up for her live stream. So thank you for being here, Tracy. I very much appreciate it. And, depending on what time I get off here, I might visit you on your live stream. So have a nice evening. And thank you for being here. And cheers to Tracy, everyone. All right, so we are staying in the same relative animal family, and we are moving on to our next friend. And I am going to pull up the picture. And this is our friend, the Guanaco. Gonna move myself to the other side again so that you guys can see him. That's him. And as you can see, he does resemble somewhat the llama. They have sort of the same body structure. The head and ears are very similar. However, the coat is not as long, and his legs are a little thinner, or how do you say? Narrow? I'm missing a word. Help me! No, Catherine, this is not a Vicuna. This is a Guacano. But we will talk about Vicuna, of course. I cannot do this topic without talking about Vicuna. You've had this alpaca X wool yarn, made a beanie hat with it. I wore it when we had our 50 Celsius 2 weeks deep freeze. My head was hot and sweaty wearing it. See, it has a very high insulation. Ursula says she's still listening in the background while working. So interesting. I'm very happy, Ursula, that you like the information, you find it interesting. Skinny, yes, thank you, Debbie. Skinny, his legs are a bit skinnier than the llama. So our friend, the Guanaco, never heard of it. Well, you're probably not the only one. This is an ancestor of the llama. It is native to South America and is the least known member of the South American camelid family, which includes the llama, the alpaca, and the vicuna, which we will talk about in a little bit. The wool and fine fur of the guanacos were already popular within the people of the Andes, who used the fur and leather to build tents and the wool to make blankets and clothing. So it dates back many centuries. In the course of the 19th century, those blankets and coats were the most important trading article of the Tehulek Indians, Tehuelche Indians. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing this right. I am not good with these. But the Indians who were local to the Andes area, this was their most important trading article at the time. Today, they are a protected species. They are classified as an endangered species. It is still considered threatened animal in most of South American countries, probably because it was hunted for its wool and fur for such a long time. All the trade with the products made out of guanaco is strictly regulated, so there are very strict rules about it. It's not that it is forbidden, but they do regulate it, and it is making all exportation of it merely impossible. Special certifications and licenses are required for those who are harvesting the coat, making, spinning, cleaning, all the process. The breeders who are located primarily in Argentina, Bolivia, Chile, and Peru, they have to go through an excruciating bureaucracy process in order to be allowed to breed and grow and use the products made out of guanaco. So the fiber itself, it is soft. It is valued second only to that of the vicuña, which we will talk about in a second, and then you will understand what that means. It's a combination of a very high quality product and regulated trade that makes this fiber extremely expensive and extremely rare. So this is one of the rarest fibers in the world. This is not something you would have seen in a local yarn shop, and if you have, it would be in some kind of vitrine with a ridiculous price tag on it. It would be one of those yarns that are more for shows and not for actual sale. So what do you guys think of our friend? Please spell it. Oh, Catherine did. Okay, thank you. Hi, Jeannie. Welcome. You looked it up. Bobby says it's Andes, like Andes. Yeah, Bobby, I know it is pronounced differently than the way I say it. I speak a different language, so we say ants. And it happens to me very often. So if you, I mean, people who are watching my channel regularly know that I very often pronounce words the way that they speak them in my language, and then I have people are misunderstanding me or have to ask again. That is why I corrected myself in the middle there when I realized that I am using a word that you guys might not understand. It's why I said it again. Yeah, the Andes. Okay, this was related to Kim. Yes, Debbie, in the fiber vault. Exactly. It is one of those yarns that will go on some kind of like, you know, pedestal or something like that no one ever really buys. I can tell you that I did find one website that had it, and they sell pure 100% Guanaco yarn for the price of about $150 per 20 grams or something like that. That was about the price. But I have never seen it sold anywhere. Oh, thank you, Debbie. Debbie, please hit the thumbs up. Thank you. Yeah, don't forget to hit the like button when you come in. And if you're not yet subscribed, I would very much appreciate it if you consider subscribing to my channel. Catherine says her store doesn't have it, but you can order it. No price. They do have a price for Vicuna. Yeah, I think from what I understood going through the research before this live is that because of the regulations on Guanaco products, getting it is very hard, and there are places where you can get on some kind of wait list for it. So, but then you have to pay in advance, and who knows how long before you actually get it. You admire people that speak more than one language. Seem unable to lead. Oh, really? Well, I have learned. I currently speak 3. I have, or I used to also speak 2 more, but since I have never used them after learning them, they sort of like worn off. I can maybe understand what the other people talk, but I can't really talk it myself anymore since it's been over 10 years since I used any of them. I think that if I would have, I mean, at the time, they didn't seem useful for me, so I kind of let it go and didn't practice them anymore, and I also had no one to talk to in any of those other 2 languages at the time, so I kind of let it go. Today, I think it would have, any extra language you can have is useful, so now I'm kind of sorry that I would have been able to speak 5. But yeah. All right. So since we were talking about guanacos, and some people have already mentioned the vicuña, we're going to jump right into our next one, which is the vicuña. Now, this one you may have heard of. Vicuña is the finest yarn in the world. This is not just me saying, it is known. And it is also the most expensive one. Saying it just up front so that you guys don't kill me later. It is the smallest among this South American camelid family, and it is a very graceful and soft mammal, and it lives in the western South Americas. You can see this picture. I mean, she looks like she's royalty, right? She's so beautiful. Vicuña is the most luxurious and expensive fiber in the world. The animal is also known as the bearer of the golden fleece, as well as the queen of the Andes. In ancient times, vicuñas were sacred to the Incas and valued for their ultra soft fine wool. Only emperors and their families were allowed to wear this precious fiber. It is also the finest fiber in the world. It exquisitely fine wool. It only has a micron of 8 to 13 microns, so that's a very, very, very fine fiber. For comparison, cashmere, which we spoke about a lot today, goes around 14 microns, so it's the I don't want to say thick because it's not the right word, but like when we talk about Vicuna, it is a fine one, and it is between 8 to 13. Cashmere starts from 14, so you can see how fine it is. While extra fine merino, for example, is around 19 microns. So the fibers are also hollow and they are filled with air. It makes the cloth or whatever you're making with Vicuna yarn amazingly warm and light. So it has this amazing characteristic that it is light as air but keeps you warm, which is a very, very good advantage when we talk about those cold areas, those high mountains, snowing places, when temperatures drop way below zero in the wintertime. It is so soft and sensitive that it is usually left untreated in its natural color. So because the fiber itself is so soft and so sensitive, any chemical treatments to alter the color can ruin it. So most of the, or let's say 99.9% of Vicuna yarn that you will find anywhere will be this warm shade of brown that would be the color of the fiber. Vicuna wool is as good as gold. Each of these animals produce only about 4 ounces of fiber each time, which makes it even more precious. The yarn produced by this fiber is only sold by the most exquisite and luxurious stores. If you wanted to make your very own creation with Vicuna yarn, a ball of 1 ounce or 20 grams of this will cost you as much as up to $300. And it may be that you would also have to pre-order it because of the way they produce it. They don't always have enough yield each year to keep up with the sales of this amazing fiber. So yeah, the finest and the most expensive. You think she's cute? Everyone says she's cute. It is not Khaleesi. Yes. A fellow Game of Thrones fans. We're all Game of Thrones fans here. Kind of looks like a kangaroo. Of course he's the finest. He's the prettiest of the camel family animals in European. Yes, it is the most expensive. Is it similar to alpaca? I don't think so. I mean, we were just talking about how much more soft and fine and luxurious it is. It may have similar characteristics, but in terms of quality, it is way up there. You wonder if these animals could be raised locally. I'm sure they would have to get shipped here, but is it possible? I don't know. I do know that they live in the parts of South America which are very high areas, very low oxygen levels. That is one of the characteristics of this animal, so I don't know how they will adjust to other areas. Where can you purchase it? I will get to this in a second. I will give you guys a whole list of places where you can get different kinds of these yarns. Catherine says she can get it. It's only 750 euros for 100 gram, and it's a thin thread of weaving. Only 750 euros? You want one as a pet? Everyone loves Game of Thrones. Yes, they do. They only live in very high altitudes, which is why I don't think they grow them anywhere else. So I have another picture for you guys because we were talking about the camelid family, or the South American camelid family. So here is, oh, sorry, I need to make it smaller. Here is a size comparison. So the first one up here is the llama. And that is, the llama is the biggest one of the South American camelid family. Then the guanaco, the alpaca, and the vicuna, which, as you can see on this chart, comparing to the alpaca, is a tiny, delicate animal. Ursula says she thinks they will enjoy her backyard. It's okay if you did not watch Game of Thrones. Considering the ending, you may have not missed all that much. All right, so yeah, Vicuna. It's a lineup. Yes, it's a lineup. Yes, the Guanaco is quite big comparing to the Vicuna. So, we only have 2 more left to talk about, so I am going to take a short pause to tell you guys, if you just tuned in or if you joined us in the middle, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I would very much appreciate it if you're not yet subscribed, if you would consider subscribing to the channel. If you're interested in joining the channel's membership program, there is a small button that says join next to the subscribe button, and if you cannot see the join button, then in the description box below this video there is a link that will take you to the channel membership, and there you can read and see the video and hear all about what does it mean to become a channel member. I did mention at the beginning of today's live chat that in March, probably in the 1st or 2nd week of March, we will have our very first members only live stream. Members, look for the announcement on the community tab on my channel. Sometimes it comes up in your feed on YouTube when you come in. Sometimes it doesn't, so you will have to go to the channel and check the community tab every few days. And of course, the announcement will be on there for all the members of the channel when this chat is going to be. And I wanted to remind you all that the giveaway for today, it is these set of minis, Allison and May Special Ombre, 100% acrylic, 5 times 10 grams, each of them 25 meters long. And this is a pink ombre. And to go along with it, we have this cute bracelet. It is adjustable in size and it has scissors on it. I thought it was very cute. And to go along with it, we also have this selection of tags that said made homemade, made with love. And those are tags that you can sew on your projects. And if you want to win that, all you have to do is come back to this video, this live stream, after the live stream is finished, and leave a comment and comment which of today's fibers that we discussed was your favorite, the one you're most interested in, the one you would most like to try, just general opinions on any of them. If you ever worked with any of them, I would love to hear it. So leave a comment, and on the next Yarniversity, next week on Sunday, we will choose a winner out of there. What else? Oh, and for those of you who were interested and watched my latest What's on the Hook live stream that I did, I was showing you guys the sock pattern that I was working on. So this was released yesterday and it is now available on my Etsy shop to purchase the pattern. And don't forget that viewers of my channel get a discount, and the link to the Etsy shop as well as the discount code for my viewers is in the description box below the video. Okay, so a line up, yes. Okay, so we are going to the next one. And we are leaving the South American camelid family. And in fact, we are leaving the Americas in general. And we are going to a whole different place. We are going to New Zealand. And the brushtail possum. Yes, possum. I did say possum. So when we're referring to fiber and yarn, the possum that we are talking about is the brushtail possum. The common brushtail possum is perhaps the most widespread marsupial of Australia. It is found throughout the eastern and northern parts of the continent, as well as some western regions. Since its introduction to New Zealand by fur traders in the late 19th century, the non-native brushtail possum populations reached staggering proportions, largely due to the lack of natural predators that would otherwise maintain an ecological balance. The consequence of their rapidly increasing numbers are many, including damaging impacts on New Zealand's native flora and fauna. To try and regulate the devastating growth of this population, several New Zealand-based yarn companies started harvesting their fur for the fiber industry usage. These companies are committed to the responsible management of the brushtail possum population in New Zealand, and when you choose to buy their luxury yarns, you are taking part in their sustainability efforts. Now, unlike all the yarns that we spoke about so far, it is pretty obvious that these brushtail possums, their fur is used to make yarns. They do not survive it. As I said, they are using this method in a controlled way to control the overgrowing population and the destruction that they are bringing onto the New Zealand flora and fauna, which, this is not cruelty-free yarn, okay? This is just, it needs to be said. Catherine says she loves possum. And Wilma says she's listening. Well, lurking is acceptable here. Okay, so possum. The brushtail possum fiber has some rare quantities. First, there are no scales to the fiber, so the fiber itself resists peeling. So it doesn't have to go through any, all these different processes that, for example, superwash merino and anti-peeling yarn has to go through, the fiber itself is peeling resistance. Possum blend garments stay looking new for a very, very long time. And in fact, the more possum fiber in the blend, the more the peeling resistant the garment will be, and it will last longer. In addition, it has a hollow structure, and we already spoke about a hollow structure before when we were talking about the other fiber. So that means that the fiber has a very high warmth to weight ratio. It will keep you warm, but will still be very, very light. For example, if you take a merino possum blend, it will be twice as warm as any other wool blend in the world. Possum wool is extremely soft and it is luscious. It's a natural choice for scarves, shawls, sweater, gloves, and essentially any item that is meant to keep you warm and cozy. So it is a very luscious fiber. It is a very unique fiber. It is only made in New Zealand and only as part of their sustainability agenda. So there are not many companies that produce it, but they do produce it and ship it worldwide. So for example, I had to go look, of course, so it is sold on Amazon. For those of you who are interested, there are some local yarn shops that hold it in different places in the world. And also, of course, you can buy directly on the websites of those 2 or 3 companies that make it. Tracy says we have an abundance of opossum here in Oklahoma. They are mean as a snake. Yeah, it's very easy to confuse, but it is not the same animal. Yeah, it is a downside, but them being a pest isn't good either. Exactly. So it's not you would say it is not a cruelty-free yarn. Of course, obviously, those possum, they are sort of like using it as sort of a pest control way, but at least they don't just shoot and kill them. They do it out of a good reason, and they don't just go and shoot them all. They just regulate a population, and then they use that product to produce something, which is then, sold. And Catherine says she saw it for the first time on Natalie's Little Yarn. Oh yeah, I saw that too, but I mean, I have seen it before, but I saw that on her yarn tour as well. Too many of an animal can cause so much damage and change to ecosystem. That is correct, Jana. And this is like I said, this is the reason they started doing this. So I gotta say that both companies that I checked out in New Zealand who produce this yarn, both of them have a very well explained agenda. When you go on their website, you can read all the information. They are very open with the what, why, where, how, all the whys. They cover them all. It's not like they don't hide anything from you, and they don't make you feel like they're not beautifying anything. They are giving it to you straight, but in return you get a yarn that is a very, very luscious yarn. Again, I'm not condoning anything. Yeah, this is just an informative video. All right, so what do you guys think about possum yarn? Would you buy any? We only have one more kind left, so if you have any questions, start thinking about them now. Bobby says American opossum are probably the most misunderstood critter. I peacefully coexist with the ones in my area. That is good. That is good. I don't think we don't have any. No, they're not native here. All right, so we are coming to our very last fiber. Now, this next one that I'm going to talk about is a bit different than all the other ones. Wait, I see comment. It's like the snakes in Florida. They have to hunt them to preserve the ecosystem. And if you have to hunt them anyway, better make the most of it, I guess. Yes, I agree. Tracy, they love to eat your cat's food. Yeah, I would really, I was considering, just because it's available on Amazon and it's not even that expensive. I was considering just getting one ball of that yarn to just know what it feels like for my collection. um, You had no idea it could be used for yarn. Yeah, I think everything, well, technically speaking, probably everything that has fur can be used for yarn, but not all of them should be, or not all of them will be successful as yarn. That's okay, Tracy, I got what you were saying, and Jamie, that's good that you don't have them. They apparently can be a very bad pest. Catherine first saw them in LA when they were running on the wall. They spooked me so hard. And Debbie says, so sorry, but she has to leave. We'll come back to watch the ending. Thank you. You are very welcome, Debbie, and have a nice day. And thank you for being here. I always appreciate you coming. And you can always just, go to the blog and get the information there. I do not, you guys don't have to sit here and watch me for 3 hours. Your version will never make enough fiber. So bye, Debbie. See you next time. Cheers to you and have a nice day. All right. So, like I said, this last one is different than the other ones because unlike all the other animals and all the fibers that we spoke about, this one is not how do you say, it's not like a natural existing animal. This is a crossbreed that men created in their goal, like intentionally for the fiber industry. And I am talking about Kashgora. The Kashgora goat, to be exact. And you can see them here in the picture. This is a Kashgora goat being sheared. And this is, as I said, a result of crossbreeding between Kashmir and Angora goats. The resulting fiber produces a yarn that has the best qualities of each of these goat breeds. So you get all the pluses of Angora, of the Angora goat, and all the pluses of Kashmir. Strength and shine from the Angora with the softness of the Kashmir. The fiber is very similar to Kashmir, just slightly longer and coarser, which makes Kashgora more durable and less prone to peeling. It is a fairly new fiber and it is currently only produced in Tajikistan and Afghanistan. So there's a very, very limited amount, very small amount. It is a very, very recent, like last few years recent addition. There's a very, very small amount of breeders who grow these goats and do the whole process, go through the whole process. It is those are goats, so it is a renewable resource. It protects the goat during the winter, but it is no longer needed in the spring. So the coat is combed in April, and it is then sorted, dehaired, washed, and spun. The average yield is approximately 400 grams or 14 ounces of combed fiber per goat. In terms of comparison, an average merino sheep produces about 4 to 5 kilo each year. So you can see how big of a difference. It's not a huge yield, which also makes this fiber more rare. The Kashgora yarn is dyed over the original silverish brown, and so the result is rich colors with unique luster and shine. It is said about Kashgora that once you touch it, it becomes a must-have. So I personally have never had it because, as I've said, it is a very, very limited fiber. You only a very small number of breeders produce it, and only about 2 different companies in the world actually sell it as a fiber for fiber arts. Some of it goes into the textile industry and is not spun into yarn that we can buy. So it is very, very, very limited. I could only find one website where you can purchase it from, and they are apparently the only one in the United States that are allowed to sell it or that get any kind of supply of it. Yes, Bobby, but you have to there is a distinction between the Angora goat and the Angora rabbit. So Angora wool is from rabbits, and mohair, what we know as mohair, comes from a breed of goats that is called the Angora goat. So it's called Kashgora because of the name of the breed. So the Kashmir goats and the Angora goats. But you can think of it as a combination of cashmere and mohair in terms of fiber that we know. And OMG, Catherine said the same thing. Sorry, did not read your comment. Tracy said there is a woman in Ithaca starts a goat farm like these 29 years ago. Oh, really? Does she sell the fiber? Because this is like everywhere. When you look online, the only places you can find that actually breed these and do anything with that kind of fiber is in Tajikistan, mainly in Tajikistan. Some of the process is also made in Afghanistan. Is they actually breed the goats in Tajikistan, and they comb them and do the whole process there, and then they ship the fiber to Afghanistan to be processed, and then it is shipped back. There's like a whole thing there. And it is also about an 80% women run process. So that's, I don't know. I thought that was an interesting fact. You're learning a lot today. I'm very happy. So for all of you, the whole point of doing these Yarniversities is to convey knowledge. I personally believe that fiber arts YouTube channels should not only be, although I do tutorials, yarn reviews, yarn unboxing and such, but I also feel like it needs to have some kind of added value to it, and this is what this is. The Yarniversity series is to give you guys a little bit more background to be added to your hobby. So I'm always very happy when people comment in the chat and say that this is useful to them, that they like the content, that they appreciate it. It always makes me feel very good, and it's my drive to continue in doing these Yarniversities. So before we go on to where can I get all of these, I just wanted to remind you all that if you're not yet members of our Facebook group, then come join our Facebook group. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I would very much appreciate if you follow me there as well. All the links are always in the description box below. You can contact me by email. You will find my brand new address, my PO box, which was like a nightmare to get here in Germany, but I finally did it. So you will find that in the description box as well as all the links to everything that I mentioned today, and discount codes and all that stuff is always in there. Lori says, hi, Lori. Lori's here. Hi, I was sorry so late. My schedule is all over the place. We'll catch the replay. You're welcome to do that, Lori. And I was telling before, I did my homework and all of today's information is already on the blog. So you can also go to the blog and read it if you want. I was hoping the dog fiber would have made the grade. We used to raise Kishans. And I know they use that fiber to make yarn. Really? I did not come across dog fiber in my search, because if I would have, that would definitely make the cut. Since I'm pretty new to crocheting, it's definitely a learning process to figure out which fibers are easy to work with, to feel, and what's popular. Well, I think that the ones we talk about, but there are maybe 2 or 3 of them that are accessible and can be considered something that I would recommend working with. But I think, okay, we had 9 different ones, and I would say 4 of them are on the affordable side, and then there are some that are in the middle, and then some that are way up there, and I would probably not buy them. Lori was playing hooky. If the label says Angora, how do we know if it's rabbit or goat? Angora comes from Angora rabbits. If it comes from Angora goat, it will say mohair. Okay, so websites, where can I get it? So let's begin with the one that I already mentioned before to some. Sorry, that was a picture here. I already mentioned before to some of you when we were talking about fiber to spin. This website is called World of Wool. If there are spinners amongst you that would like to get some of these special fibers and spin them themselves, this is the place to find them. They have, for example, Camel, which we spoke about today. So that is available. And you can more or less see the prices here. They have baby camel, and they have white baby camel, and they have merino baby camel mix. This is actually a yarn. And here they have merino brown alpaca camel mulberry silk blend. Sorry, it was here, this one. And there's something called the macchiato, which is baby caramel and superwash merino blend. So for those of you who are spinners, you can find that here. I think they also have yak. Let's see. Yes, so they also have yak fiber to spin in different colors. As you can see, all of those are natural colors, so those are undyed yarn. And they also have merino and yak blend. And I'm not 100% sure, but maybe they have Kashgora? No, they do not. They might have Possum. No. But you can see what I'm doing, and you can also do it yourself. They do not have Vicuna. I was just I don't know why I thought of that. But World of Wool, for those of you who are spinners and spin your fiber yourselves, this is a good one. The next one I wanted to show you is this one. It's called the Windy Valley Musk Ox. And well, of course, they have musk ox. But they also have some of the other ones that we spoke about today. So when we go here to view our yarns, you can see that they have musk ox, bison, Vicuna, they have guanaco, and they have some other, they have alpaca, cashmere, you know, ones that now when you think about them, they are also regular. But you know, let's just get a look at the prices. So we said that musk ox yarn produced from musk ox is called Kivute, and you can see here that pure Kivute 100% is $150, and I believe that is per 1 ounce. Yeah, that is $150 for 1 ounce of Kivute. If you're interested, you can get it on their website. Of course, they also have blends. So let's see here. You have merino, Kivute, and silk yarn. That is already more affordable. That 80% merino, 15% Kivute, and 5% silk will be $39.50 for 1 ounce. So, you know, that's a possibility too. And they have Bison. You can see that it starts from $64 for the 100% pure Bison. That's for 1 ounce. And the Vicuna, they have that one too, but you can see I told you about Vicuna before, that if you will find it, it will also always be in its natural color. So you can see that it has this cinnamon brown color. And you get, you pay $300 for 1 ounce, and it has 217 yards in there of Vicuna yarn. And let's just take a quick look at the Guanaco. So that one goes for $155 for 100% Guanaco yarn. Again, that is for 1 ounce. So that is a Windy Valley Musk Ox, and I said all those links are in the description box below. Let's see what you guys had to say about these two. Captain said, I watched a spinner on YouTube who keeps Angora rabbits and spin their fur, but she didn't have a black one, so she got a black poodle to spin. Oh, wow. The merino, camel, and silk look so soft, says Catherine. So I wonder how they dye that dark brown color. Which one do you mean? The camel? Been spending a lot of time with mom, so need to focus on kids and hobby today. Lori, I totally get it. You also had a lot going on lately. The website link I sent you by email for the Bison yarn also has Bison and Bison blend fibers. Thank you, Julie. I cannot look at it while I'm on the live, but I will definitely look at it later, and I will edit it into the description box. Bye, Linda. Thank you for being here. It's funny when a silk blend is the more affordable one. Yes. Got you in my ear while I clean the kitchen. Almost dropped the wine glass when you said $150 for an ounce. Yes. Lori, if you do go back and watch the replay, then don't hold anything a glass, because the prices we mentioned today were way up there. Jean says, thank you for all the interesting information. As always, totally appreciate you and the knowledge you despair. Have a peaceful rest of the night. Thank you very much, Jean. Thank you for being here. It appears we should all want the fiber coat rather than the fur. Yeah. So I put in the description box. Oh, sorry. I put in the description box below this video also the link to Port Fiber, which is the only company I found that sells Kashgora. And this is Zealana. This is the New Zealand company that that makes the brushtail possum yarn, and they have a very large selection, and you can read here about their different blends with the different percentage of possum in the yarns. Specifically, the yarns from Zealana are sold on their website, but also on this website. This is a Canadian-based website, so for all your Canadians and the US-based, you can get them on Urban Yarns. They ship to Canada and the US, or you can get it on Amazon. So the yarns from Zealana are also available on Amazon. And of course, I had to have the German point. So this is Pasquale, and this. They, in general, are a very good yarn company, one of my personal favorites, and not just because they're based in Germany and also not very far from where I live, but also because they have a very large selection of those irregular yarns. So they are also the company that makes the corn yarn that I showed you guys a while ago. I think it was when we were talking about the vegan yarns. I showed you my yarn that is made out of corn. That's also Pasquale. So as you can see, they have Camel and Yak, but when you go to their all fibers, then you will see that they sell Bison, Camel, might say is the corn yarn that I have, and they have Yak as well. So just to get, because we haven't seen Camel yet on any of the companies, so I wanted to show you guys that they sell their 100% camel wool yarns, and they sell it in 50 grams, and it's 14.66 euros for a hank of 50 grams, which I think is a very good price. I'm not sure if you guys saw it now when I pointed. Do you guys see that? No, it was under your... Okay, sorry. Now I have to scroll. So it is 14.66 for 50 grams, and that is 29 euro for 100 grams, so about 30 euros, which will make about, I don't know, $32 for 100 grams. That is still okay, you know, for a yarn that's not a regular fiber. So for a specialty fiber, that is still an okay price, and they ship worldwide. And definitely check out their website. They have as I showed you, they also have Bison and Yak, and we spoke about both of these fibers. So just, you know, because we spoke about Yak, you can see that they have 4 different types of Yak yarn. Some of them are pure Yak, and some of them are blends, and they have also different yarn weights. So and the prices are very comfortable, I think. So definitely check out Pasquale if you're interested in any of these. And of course, as always, I will also give you the Etsy point. Any of these yarns that we mentioned today, you can just go on Etsy and type in, you know, the type of fiber, and you will get a whole bunch. But specifically, Miss Prescott Yarns, Miss Peacock Yarns is based in New Zealand, and she has hand-dyed possum yarn. Those are these ones here in the middle. And if you're interested in that, the link to her shop is also in the description box below this video. And she also told me to tell you guys that if you have any questions, you can always write her using that contact seller button, and she would love to answer any questions that you might have. So I thought it is nice because we spoke about the fact that this yarn is only being made in New Zealand, and there are 2 big yarn companies that sell it, but there are also some indie dyers that work with it, and I thought that was very nice. Okay. What do you make with an ounce of these fibers? That is a very good question, Mare. I have no idea. We have an abundance of cornfields here too. Tracy, but do you know if they make corn yarn where you live? Because for me, that was the only company that I found that made that, Pasquale. Yeah, exactly, Catherine. That was about the price of regular hand-dyed hank. Is a good price. It's just hard for us to get anything delivered right now. I totally understand that. When everything I ordered from the US lately have been delayed over delays. Oh, I finally got this week. I finally got my knit crate from December. And you know, we're almost in March, but my knit crate arrived. Yay! Also my August one. They arrived together. The August knit crate and the December knit crate arrived together on Wednesday. That was very funny. Bobby says he never heard of it. Well, you guys all definitely go check out those. If you're interested, go check out those websites. And I hope that you enjoyed today's chat, and I hope that you discovered some new information, and I hope that this was interesting and useful to you. And I will let you guys go on with your day. I am gonna go have dinner and probably check if Hobby is still on and say hi to the lovely girls. So thank you all very, very much for watching. Don't forget to come back to the replay and comment down below in order to enter for the giveaway. I will see you all, well, during this week. There will be a few videos coming out on the channel, on the regular videos, and of course I will see you all next week on Sunday for a brand new Yarniversity. So thank you all very, very much for watching. I will leave the chat on for a few more minutes so you guys can all say goodbye to each other, but I'm gonna say good night. Bye.